Good morning, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. Now, we have almost coming to the end of Power Query. I asked you to watch appending queries. Okay, we had a discussion about joins, right? The next one is union all and union. So I asked you to watch those videos. Have you completed? So there are two videos posted for the appending. One is how to get the data and perform a union and a union all operation. In that video, I clearly mentioned what is a union and a union all. Just watch those videos, which are very simple videos, not very complex at all, and you must watch it and complete it. And right, so query options, these are nice to have topic, not very important, but let us discuss. Copy and paste, delete, rename, enable, load, query dependencies in view, include in report, refresh, duplicate, reference. Not very interesting topic. To group the files, move up and move down, group by, create a functions, convert to parameters. Very simple, small topic. Let me go and open Power BI. Okay. So I wanted to go to transform data. Now for new source, Excel workbook. I wanted to get Adventure Works data, customer table, products table, sales table. I have it. Okay. So lot of data, it is asking me to refresh. Okay. Now having this data. So Power Query will be loading first 1,000 rows as we discussed already. When you close and apply, remaining data will be loaded. Again, same time, all ETL steps are going to be done on the remaining data, right? So now the first one, if you go here, lot of options are available. Copy, paste, delete, rename, enable, load, include, report, refresh, duplicate, reference, move to group. So lot of things are available, and advanced editor properties, create a function, lot of things are. We will discuss one by one. I wanted to copy this. I can copy. Again, I will be able to paste. If you understand carefully, when I copy and paste, what will happen? You will get the same data here. So data will be copied as it is, plus all the ETL steps also will get copied. ETL steps also will get copied. When you click on this, if we have a 10 steps, all the 10 steps will be copied. Data plus ETL steps will be copied. So that is what is called copy and paste. Not only the data. Many people think that I have a data will be copied. How many steps you have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now when you go, you will be able to get 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. Yeah, am I clear? You will be able to get the one more 3, 4 steps. That is what. When you go here, now afterwards, you wanted to do some extra step here. What is extra step? Let me go and do some uppercase. You have done it. Clear? You have done it in the customer table. But after that, when you go to customer 2 table, that is not there. Why? Because it is going to be copy and pasting. And let me delete this. Let me delete this. It is not getting. But if you need that step also, simply go and copy this. Again, right click on this and paste. Now you will be able to get upper text also. Now because you have upper text. But if you go to table number 1 and delete it, so you go to customer number 2, the text will the ETL step will be there. Clear? What is a copy paste means? Copying the data, pasting the data, so it will get the complete data plus all the ETL steps will be copied. But afterwards, what will happen? It is going to be disconnecting. Why? Because if I do any changes, those are not coming here. Those are not coming here. So once copy paste is done, it is not going to be having a link. After that, you go and you modify something that is not going to be reflecting here. So you have one thing and you have copied this. So copy and paste it. So at the time of copying, if you have 2 rows will come. And if you have three steps, three steps will come, right? After that, the line is broken. Tomorrow you include the data or you include the ETL steps. Those will not come here. So that is what is called copy and paste. Am I clear? Now, instead of doing like this, in using two steps, you can do the same thing in single step. That is, go and duplicate. So when you go to duplicate, it is also copy and paste. So what will happen? All the 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the data. So all the ETL steps will come here, and all the data also can come here. So either copy and paste or is equivalent to duplicate. Duplicate is a single step process. Clear? So what will happen in this? All the data will come. Data, if you have two rows will come. Again, if you have three steps also will come. Link is broken. What do you mean by link is broken? If you insert the data, the new data will not come. If you do any extra ETL operation, that is not going to be reflected. That is what is called copy and paste or duplicate. But whereas there is one more option called a reference, compulsory interview question. Reference means what happens. Let me go and have a reference. So this one, customer underscore reference. Okay, I have used it. So reference means you see what is going to be happening. So you have a customer table and you have a one more table called customer reference. This is a reference table. Now, what will happen? All the data will be copied. Okay. All the data will you have, right? All the data also will come here. So you can see we have the data, but no ETL steps are mentioned. But if you go to original table, you will be able to find out lot of ETL steps, right? Lot of ETL steps. But when you go to reference, all the data came in, but no, nothing is there. So why nothing is there? Because tomorrow, either you have 3, 4 ETL steps. Tomorrow you may insert the data. Tomorrow you may perform the data. It is going to be doing it the original page. It is simply a reference. That means it will copy the data. It will maintain reference. It will maintain a link. Clear? So whenever you go and when you see, whenever you have the data here, the data also will get reflected because it is going to be having a link, right? You wanted to get the water from from this tank to this tank. What you do? You have a tap or you have a connection. You have the water will come here. The water will come here. Then you remove the connection. Then it is independent of water. If you add some salt here, that will not get reflected. If you add some sugar here, that will not get reflected because there is no connection. So this is what is called copy and paste. You take some water and you put it here. And one more thing I'm talking about, you have two tanks. So you have a live connection. But if you need the water, every time when you make it on, the water will come from here always. Clear? So you don't have any water, even though you have a water that is not needed because everything the water will come from here. If you add something here, that will get reflected. If you add a salt, the salt will come here. When you have the sugar, sugar will come here because there is a reference. Reference exactly is going to be going to the it is going to the source and getting the data always because it establishes a link and it will have the link always. Clear? So when you have a reference to the table, it will show you the data, but it will have a link always. So whenever you do any new insert, the new insert will can show you here. When you have any ETL operation, that will show you here because it is going to be creating a link between this. But this will also create a link at the time of copying data. After that, the link will be broken. Clear? So that is what is the difference between a reference and clear. So duplicate and reference or copy and paste. A duplicate is equivalent, and duplicate means get the data, get the all ETL steps, and the link will be broken from source to the destination. Right? Reference means all only gets the data, but link will be established and no ETL operations also will be copied to the reference table. That's what you need to understand. Then delete, rename, enable, load already we discussed. And query dependencies also you can discuss. What do you mean by query dependencies? So let me show you. So if you wanted to delete something, right click on this, you can delete. I would like to delete something. You can easily delete something, right? So whatever you would like to, if you wanted to rename something, either you can rename here or you can also go right click on this. You can also rename here. Let me go customer duplicate, dupe, right? Like that, I will be able to have something clear. And one more thing. So copy, paste, delete, rename, enable load. Load means I told you, if you stop this, this data will not get loaded. So we discussed as part of joins, right? After joining, all the data, join data you take it, but remaining data you don't want to take it. Okay, now so that is what is called enable load. Now, what is include in report refresh? Okay, so it is included. When you right click, it is included. Everything is by default included. You assume that what is going to be happening in the include report refresh. Let me tell you. I have a I have some static tables. Okay, I have some static tables means I have a data in Excel sheet. Okay, in this data, I am having 2005 to 2008 data. Clear? So this data I'm going to be loading into where all the data will be loading into Power BI. Now in the Power BI, there is an option called refresh. When you refresh the data, now what happens? All the data will be deleted from the RAM. Okay, all the data will be loaded into the RAM. And again, if you have some data that will get deleted, when you refresh it, again, fresh data will be loaded. Now you tell me, when you have 1 million of data or 10 million of data, deleting all the data and again loading all the data into the table, is it very simple? It will take some time, right? Two seconds or 20 minutes or 2 minutes, we don't know, but it will take some time. Now, this is completely static data. Static data means nobody will modify. Nobody will update. Why nobody will modify? Because 2005, 2008 sales is over already. 10, 20 years back, 12 years back, it got done. Now tell me, will you be going back to the old data? Will you be modifying there? No, nobody is going to be modifying to the old data. They may modify the present data, right? So if you have some, data coming from OLTP tables and that data you're dumping into a data warehousing. So once you dump into the data warehousing, this data will not change because data warehousing data will be always a historical data. Or if you get some Excel data, in that you have some historical data, means the data will not change. If the data is not changing, even though you refresh, it should not delete the data. It should not load the data. So that is what is called include in report refresh. So what will happen? I'll tell you. When you go here, when you go and write, for example, sales table is there. So when I say I removed include in report refresh, I remove it. When I remove, that is unchecked. So what is happening? Even though I click on this refresh all, this data will not be deleted from the RAM. This data of the sales table will not be loaded into the RAM every time. Why? Because I have removed that option. Why? I have removed because sales data is 2005 to 2008. Now you tell me, nobody is going to be modifying that data now. Will you be modifying the data of your banking transactions of last 10 years? You cannot modify. It is already history and that data is given to you, then the customer wanted to have the charts on that. Now you tell me, will you be refreshing the data? Even though you refresh the data, will you be getting any new changes to that? No. If that is the case, to increase the performance, what you do, you go to that data, you say include in report refresh, that option you remove. Clear? So what is the meaning? Every time when you refresh, either here in the Power BI level, anywhere, somewhere, if you refresh, what happens? It is not going to be loading the data. It is not going to be deleting the data from the RAM. So what is advantage for this? You are very, very faster whenever you refresh something. Clear? Because unnecessarily, if there is no change means why the refresh? Your refresh button is there, but even though you refresh, if you don't, if you don't remove this option, it unnecessarily removes all the data from the RAM, it unnecessarily loads all the data. Loads all the data. Now tell me, even though you delete and load, there is no change. If there is no change, why are you deleting and loading is the question. So the first point is you need to say like that. So if you have any table which is static in nature, static means the data is not going to change. New data is not going to come. Nobody is going to be deleting the data. Nobody is going to be modifying the data in that table, in that Excel means you have to use this option. That is what is called include in report refresh. Clear? Query dependencies in view. Enable load, include report refresh we discussed. And what is the query dependencies? Query dependencies already we know. If you wanted to go to view menu, you can go to view menu. Query dependencies is the option. It can show you the diagrammatically from where you got the data. From this table, you got the customer table. From the customer table we got. If you understand carefully, it is creating a link. Have you seen this? From customer table to customer table creating a link, but customer duplicate, it is copy and pasted, link is broken and it is attached to the original table now. Clear? So reference means you will have a link. So whenever you refresh anything, this data is going to come here, right? But even though you modify something here, the data is not going to come here because it is going to be removing the link from the original copy. Okay? If you wanted to see all the data from where I'm getting the data means go to query dependencies view and you can see. Otherwise, normally if to see from where you got the table means always you can go to the source. Right click on this and or you can click on this dot, this button so that you can see you're able to get the data from here, right? So every time you need not go to the source and from where you got the data, it can tell you that you're getting the data from here, right? So it can just go there and you can click on this. You know that you're getting the data from here, but it can show you a file by file. If you need the complete data from where you're getting, if you wanted to know, go to view menu, query dependencies. Clear? So this topic is also very, very simple. The next one, duplicate reference query dependencies, enable load, rename, delete. The next one, to group the files. Sometimes I wanted to group the data. How to group the data? I would like to say, right click on this, create a new group. Let me say some is called sales data. Okay. I will create a folder. So I would like to right click on this. You can say move to the sales. So it has gone. Now you take move to the sales. Now this is also move to the sales. Like that you can prepare and you can also create right click and you can say move to the group, new group. I will say HR group. HR means human resources. Like that, I wanted to have only one and I would like to also take this and move to the HR group. Now you have two. So how many things you have? Two it is showing. How many things you have? You have three, right? So like that, you will be able to perform a grouping operation. Okay, you will be able to perform grouping operation. But remember, all the data when you load it to the Power Pivot, all the data now loading it to the Power Pivot, what happens? Let me load the data to the Power PI, Power Pivot, no folder names, no HR and no sales, no folders are available in Power Pivot. So if you wanted to see the folders only in the where, only in your Power Query, these folders are not visible in your Power Pivot. Remember that. So that is the point if you want to group the data. The next one is called create a function. If you would like, next one is move up and move down and group by. What is move up? Move up means I would like to take this and I can say move up. I can say right click and move down. That is what is called. I would like to take move up and move down. So whatever you would like to have it, you would like to do this, move up and move down. So this will come down. So like that, you can do very simple self-explanatory group by. So sometimes let me load employee data. Let me go to recent files. Let me load employee data, and I wanted to take the employee data. Okay. So what is employee file I have? Let me move this to the HR. Okay. Let me have employee data. Now I have a department ID, and I wanted to have the department wise salary. What I do? I close and load the data to the Power Pivot. Now, if you have thousands of rows in the employee table, all the data will be loaded into the Power Pivot. After that, what I do? I go and create some visualizations. What I do? I go create some visualization. I wanted to have department wise salary. So I go here, I drag and drop a department ID. I drag and drop a department ID. Now I drag and drop a department wise salary. So let me go. Department ID, I would like to drag and drop it here. And I wanted to have the data like this. Department 10, 20, 30. I wanted to get the data. But the question, why should I get all the raw data? I'm getting thousands of data. Then department number 10, 20, 30, I'm grouping and I'm showing the data. So why should I get millions of data? Now I have only 35 rows, chalega. But TK, tomorrow if I have 3 million data, 4 million data, end of the day, all the data will become like this, right? So I don't want to load the all the data sometimes to the uh, Power BI. So what is that you required? Only you take that data, right? So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to go here. I'm trying to perform a group by operation. So group by. So I would like to perform group by. So group by what? Group by department ID. And I wanted to perform some operation, right? So sum of what? Sum of salary. Clear? So it is a sum of salary or total salary. Now see, I have taken all the data. Now I'm converting department wise salary. I'm simply close and loading. So how many rows will go? Only instead of sending millions of data, you group the data in the Power Query, you close and apply. Now you tell me how many rows getting loaded? Only 10 rows. Before that, you add loaded 3.5 million data. And after that, you're creating a visualization, right? So you will be able to get everything here. You go, you will be able to get department ID here, total salary here. You will be able to get same report, right? Have you seen this? Now, instead of taking the raw data, I wanted to, do everything in the Power Query level and take only the limited data. Now you tell me if the customer needs, something. So will you be creating and taking the raw material to the customer? You take all the raw material and do the preparation at the customer, and that is one thing. Or whatever customer needs, you prepare so that you need not carry all thousands of raw material. Take the ingredient, the output, and show it to him. So always loading the raw data and creating a visualization, or you take the raw data and you do the trimming, gimming, calculations, everything in the Power Query level. Instead of loading 3.5 million data, you load only so 6 rows. That's it, right? So end of the day, they don't need the detailed data. They need one report like this. So that is what you need to understand, because you don't have enough space in the RAM. When you don't have enough space in the RAM, you want me to take entire data. So depends upon their requirement. If they need the detailed data to be loaded, means you can load, but they don't need the detailed data. They need only one report out of this data. Okay? That is what is called grouping. Create a function and convert a parameter. What do you mean by create a function? Now I go to transform data. Now I wanted to go to add column. There is an option called invoke function. If somebody invoke means calling. If somebody wanted to call a function means before calling a function, you have to create a function. If you create a function, that you can call it here, right? Create a function and calling a function is one thing. So calling is there. Before that, I have to create a function so that I can call the function anything. So using M language, we will be able to create. How to create? Right click on this, you can say new query. So this is what is called a blank query, blank function we will be able to write. So right click on this, you can say new query, you can say blank query. So this is how you will be able to create a function. This is the query and you will be able to write. So x as integer, something like this. Let me show you. Let me 1 minute. I wanted to create a function using M code. Use it anywhere. M code is a case sensitive. Add two numbers. I would like to do it. New query, this one, and the code x as a number, y as a number, and output x plus y. This is the M language code. So what is that I should do? I have to go and x as a number, x as an integer, right? So what is that code? It is telling me number or integer. You need to follow the same thing. X as a number, y as a number. That is the syntax. X as a number, comma, y as number, and close the bracket. When you put like this is the output. Output will be x plus y and press enter. So this is the code I have written. Now I should be able to use this code, right? So, okay, x as a number, y as a number. I wanted to use this code. So if you wanted to use this code, where is that you can have the add two numbers. This is the nums. This is the code I have written. I wanted to use this. So I would like to go here and I wanted to go to say employee table. Now I wanted to add something. Let me go to uh, add column. I would like to perform this operation somewhere here. This is not the one. I would like to go here and perform this operation somewhere. Let me show you. I would like to add a column, custom column. I wanted to add this somewhere. So let me show you. Oh, we have to invoke a function. Sorry, I'm just going here and we have to simply go there and invoke this function now. Okay. So in this, you will be able to go. Let me go to employee table. Now I would like to invoke this function. What is the new column name? You can say add, what is that? I would like to have new salary, something like this. Okay. New salary, something like this. So here, what is happening here? Oh, I have created there. It is not going to come. The function is not available there. So it is not showing. Why it is not? Why is this not allowed? It is not at all opening. Let me delete this. Let me create one function, x as a number, y as a number. Okay. This is the M language you need to write. X plus y. Right. So I want to say add two numbers. Now I want to go to employee table and go to add column. Now I would like to invoke this function. Custom function. Why invoke custom function? Define this file. Why I'm not able to get it? What is happening here? I should be able to get this. Okay, let me show you tomorrow what is the problem in this. I don't know. Let me check. It is not being shown in this. Okay, so we'll discuss this because it is now we're able to get it everything right. But why is that? Oh, I have mentioned equals to. I think I did not mention equal to. That is my mistake. Yes, this is the reason why you are not able to get it. Equals to, we have to put it. It is M language code. Okay, I have to go here and add a column, invoke function. Now you will be able to get some ABC. Now add two numbers you are able to get. You would like to add the total salary and 1000. So this is the X value, this is the Y value. It is going to be doing that and creating one function, one value. So this value plus 1000, this value plus 1000, that is what we're going to be doing. You can call the function like this, total salary plus this one. Clear? So this is what is called adding 1000 to salary. Okay, so like that, you will be able to invoke it. You will be able to invoke it. It is a M language code, but you should not be worried about these functions, complex functions. If you wanted to write means you need to know complete M language. You can tell them that you don't know the M language, in depth. That's not at all needed. Okay, so this is what is called custom function. Okay, so tomorrow we'll talk about some conditional formatting, not conditional formatting, and lot of other things we'll discuss, right? So filter data dynamically using parameters, refresh, sorting, row numbers, all of them we'll discuss in tomorrow's class. Sure.